everyone. So today we'll be learning the shoulder stand, a couple of arm variations and a few different entrances into the shoulder stand. So make sure that you're warmed up and you're ready to go. Grab a mat. I'm just going to demonstrate the moves and then I'll break it down. Okay, so there's a few ways into the shoulder stand with variations of the arms and how to get up into the shoulder stand. So one of the first ways that I learned the shoulder stand was to use my knee on my arm to help lift. Now we have one shoulder on the floor, our cheek, and then optional arm out or arm underneath with so you can push into the floor with your fist. I prefer this position, but the preference is up to you. So when we have the arm underneath, we don't want it too far across, just halfway. So I'll just show you that position. So I'm using my right shoulder, my arm goes down, and then I'm going to make an L with this arm. So I'm going to lean in front of the arm and place my cheek on the floor. Then my shoulder can touch the floor. Make sure it's not all the way over there, and you bring that hand back. The other hand, fingers spread wide, and that is your balance arm. So the arm on the floor is pushing into the floor, and the other hand is to balance you, okay? Now, as you'll see, I'm not laying flat. I've got my hips nice and high, so I'm up on my knees. Just try that position before you move on. I'll show you from a different angle. If you want to do the straight arm, I'll show you that one actually. So again, fingers spread wide. The wider your fingers are, the more balance you have. So this time we'll be bringing the hand behind us, cheek goes to the floor, shoulder on the floor. Okay, so test those positions before you move on to the next bit. So now you've mastered the arm placement, we're going to try the first step to shoulder stand, where we use our arm to step off. So choose your preferred arm placement and come into the position. Pushing into the floor with a bent arm or straight one behind you, and grabbing the floor with the other hand. We're going to come up onto our toes and get our hips as high as we can, like so. We're really pushing into that shoulder now to make sure we don't roll over. We're going to bring the knee of the balance hand on top of that arm. Just try that step, see how it feels, and do it on both sides. Okay, so you should have mastered the arm placement on both sides and that first step into shoulder stand. You will have a preferred side, but you might as well train both sides from the beginning. The next step is to bring the leg that's on the floor to meet the other one that's on the arm. So for this, you kind of have to lean forward don't want to lean too far because you will roll over. So just a slight lean forward so the leg can lift. So you're here, you're pushing, you're pulling in with abs, and you're going to try and bring that other knee up. Give that a go. Okay, so now you've mastered knee to knee. We can move on. So once both knees are up, we can then begin to straighten the leg that you've just brought up. So we're going to straighten it all the way to the sky. Give that one a go. So now you've managed to straighten that leg. Now, the next option is to bring both legs open, both legs up, stag legs, a variation of shapes. For me, I would bring the knee back down and try and open the legs. If you go straight up, the balance is harder to hold, but you can decide. So you're here, you could bring the knee back and try and go into straddle. Or if you prefer, lift that leg. Give those shapes a go. You will see there's a lot of pressure on the push arm, and you want to use that arm, make sure that you're engaging it the whole time so you have less weight in the neck and face. So really engage that shoulder, and obviously use the balance arm to keep you stable. Continually engage the abs all the way throughout the move. Okay, so that was the first option of shoulder stand. Now we're going to try another way into the shoulder stand that I found I started with when I was first learning the shoulder stand. So this one is that I just kicked up into the shoulder stand. Same arm placement. You need to be ready to be engaged straight away because you'll be kicking straight into it. So if you're not engaged, you will roll over. So from the high up position, you will just have a little hop, and I found like going into these stag legs was much easier to hold to start with when you're kicking it up. So, get the hips nice and high, get the arms in the right position, and whatever shoulder it is the foot that I push off. So I'll just do it this way. So hips are up, this leg's ready to go up, and the same leg as hand that you push with has that little hop. And then you can do your leg variations from there. So now give that one a go, have fun. So my preferred way into shoulder stand is from a straddle. Now this one you need to be a little bit more flexible, but I find that with this one there's no kick and your body glides its way up. So obviously you need to engage your core still, but with the flexibility and the leaning, your legs float without much need for strength. I will just show you again. So, basically we have our hands in the position, we lift our hips, and the leg that is the same side as the balance hand will sweep around as far as it can. Once it's at the point where it's as far as it can, you do the slight lean forward and the legs will begin to lift. then go around, 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 around. We slightly lean forward and the legs lift. So, with this one, I find it much prettier to look at. I find it, for myself, easier because I have flexible legs. The only thing I would say as a tip is that when your legs start to float, you are leaning quite forward, so you really need to engage so you don't roll over like this. If you're not engaged, that is what will happen. Now remember, you can do it with this hand placement or this hand placement. It's entirely up to you, it works both ways. So go and try that one if you are nice and stretched out. See how it feels and decide which one you prefer the most. But all variations are great. I would definitely start with the first two though, until you're used to it. Because you may find that your shoulder bruises and you have some neck ache to start with. But try and remember to engage that shoulder and prevent just pushing into the neck and face. Obviously there will be some pressure on the floor, but you're not taking all the weight in the neck and face. Now I'm going to demonstrate a nice way into the shoulder stand from lying down on your back. This one is an advanced version and you need to have mastered the shoulder stand before attempting it. For the advanced shoulder stand, I will just break it down. We're lying down, whichever leg you kick is the one that you want to end up on the shoulder with. So you will windmill the legs. So I want to end on my right shoulder, so my right leg is going to go inwards. As my left leg follows, I'm going to lift my hips. So let's just try that. So let's do it again. So I'm pushing into the arms, engaging my core and thrusting my hips. I'm using momentum to help me. So once I have that position where my hips are thrusted, the next step would be to turn to the side of the shoulder you want to land on. As you turn, you need to keep your hips nice and high. If you let them drop, you will land on your belly. We're going to turn, and as we turn onto the side, we are going to place the same arm and shoulder nice and flat onto the floor to push, and we're bringing the opposite arm over for balance. So in this option, I have a straight arm behind. So with this one, it's very fast and it takes a lot of momentum, but also a good core and power to keep those hips up. A lot of push from the arm to stabilize it. So, windmill with the leg that you want to end on the shoulder with. Follow with the other leg and get those hips nice and high. Once they're high, turn to the side of the shoulder you want to end on and move the arm to the back behind you, fingers spread wide. Bring the opposite hand over for balance. Push with the straight arm, balance with the bent arm, and then go into straddle. It does take some very good tensing to be able to catch that and hold it once you've turned over. So, we have done the shoulder stand from kneeling on your arm, the shoulder stand from kicking, the shoulder stand from swooping the leg around, and the advanced combo windmill to shoulder stand. Good luck. Remember, always engage the core, always push through the shoulder and not the face. Find the balance with the other hand, slightly turned out with the other hand, nice spread fingers, grab that floor. And good luck, I hope this helps and enjoy those shoulder stands. Please tag me when you succeed.